Hey, hello. Good to see you all. We've got some great chat going on. Uh, I'm here today with my friend JB.
Hello, hello.
Uh, so good to always see him. I want to welcome Andy. You were the first to get in here, dude. Good for you. Jean, Rob, Anna. You guys are chatting a lot. Mel, Lisa, Leanne. Oh my goodness, all kinds. So if I didn't see you, I will hopefully find you later um, in the hour. So I thought, well, first of all, let me say to all of the US people in the room, happy Thanksgiving. That is obviously tomorrow for us. Um, but many times this is a very busy get ready for the holiday day. So I think in the UK, JB, don't you call these bank holidays?
Oh yeah, yeah. We have we're quite lucky. We get I think eight bank holidays throughout the year. Eight or
Yeah.
maybe nine public holidays.
And now what
Very
is that?
nice.
That's like you get Monday off or you get Friday off?
Yeah, it's normally a Friday or a Monday, and I think
Okay.
there's a couple where you get the Friday and the Monday, so you get a whole long week, long
Okay, so
weekend.
they're not necessarily national holidays, or are they?
I think they are. Yeah, I think it's for the whole of England. Scotland and Ireland have different ones, but
Okay.
yeah, we're quite lucky.
Wow, that yeah, I don't think we have that many. At least I don't recall having that many. Uh
Is
okay.
Independence Day one for you guys?
Well, July 4th is always on July 4th, but usually they tack it onto a bit of a weekend. So
Mm,
it's hard when it's a specific day rather than it's the first, you know, Monday in July or whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes we'll get the day off and then we'll also get a little bit of a weekend. So, yeah, that's a biggie. Hi,
Something.
Joey and Ruthie. Good to see both of you here. Oh, Danny, nice to see you. Danny from the Grapevine
Hi.
Gardens here. So anyway, JB, you have been straddled with drama over your polytunnel.
Yeah. I almost don't want to talk about it. Just
Oh, but I think it'll be
yeah.
so
Uh,
fun to talk about
yeah,
all
no, we
the
have to. We have to.
yes.
I so I've got the week off work this week, so I've been up the plot like crazy. Like I've basically replaced my full-time job with just getting work done on the allotment. And I went up a few nights ago, and there was a massive hole that's been put in the polytunnel by well, I thought it was a fox, but actually, a lot of the comments seem to be fairly certain that it's badger damage.
Hmm.
Which I could see. I could see. I mean, badgers are pretty ferocious. They can get through anything. So
Well, they're a little meaner than a fox, aren't they?
yeah, they've got some claws on them, some
Yeah.
proper
Oh,
claws.
yeah, they do. That's right.
Yeah, so it could well be badger damage. We've got so where I am in Gosport, we there's been like a couple of nature documentaries and stuff because we have such a high population of urban badgers. Like if you walk
Wow.
around in Gosport after dark, you just see them scurrying around down all the alleyways and streets. Um,
And they're like a carpet, aren't they, when they run?
yeah, they kind of like
They're very
the
low to the ground and
yeah, they're
yeah.
almost like a caterpillar as well, like the way that they're kind of they undulate a little bit, like a
Okay.
worm or
Okay.
something. It is unusual when you see them going. But yeah, I've had a few comments sort of saying maybe I'll have to fence the whole tunnel or that kind of thing. But I think it's because I use chicken manure pellets in the manure, which hindsight is 2020.
Well,
Probably
they
would have
like
been
that.
avoided. Yeah,
They
yeah.
like that. Oh, interesting.
Well, that's why I thought foxes because I thought they would have been attracted to the smell of chickens. Um, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's
Okay.
foxes or badgers. There was a fox when I went down this morning at 9 o'clock. There was a fox literally sat outside my polytunnel. I was like, you.
I just
So
love that you have
could be
things
them.
like foxes
Yeah,
right
I love
there.
I love the foxes. I do. Yeah.
I mean, they're beautiful animals.
They really are as well. We have quite because we have so many badgers and foxes. I guess they're here because there's enough kind of food to support them, and
Well, I
they
would
always
hang
look really
around
healthy.
Yeah, I'd hang around an allotment probably if I was
Yeah,
one of those.
yeah. It's
I mean,
it's
people even wanna hang around there, so
yeah. It's a shame when you see them and they're all kind of like emaciated. You see
yeah.
that in urban centers quite a lot, but they're really, really pretty around here. And when I walk home on the cycle track, it's just I walk past kind of 5 or 6 adults, and they just kind of sit there and look at you, give them a little hello.
Well, you think if they live in an urban setting, they're sure used to people.
Yeah, yeah,
So
absolutely, really tame.
so what do you do to try to, deter badgers? Let's assume this is a badger.
Yeah, so in terms of like physical defenses, badgers, like I say, I think they can pretty much go through anything, and they're really strong diggers. So
Oh, okay.
they love sweet corn. Sweet corn is the main thing that you've got to defend on an allotment, and you see all sorts of funny structures on allotments where people have tried to fence out badgers for their corn. But what I've done is, well, actually, my mum and dad came up today, and my mum had soaked a load of old tea bags in peppermint oil.
Okay.
Something she saw. Apparently, both foxes and badgers really don't like that kind of citronella, old
Yeah.
bass oil, like vapor rub, menthol kind of
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
and peppermint oil too. So I've basically gone around and put these tea bags all around the polytunnel, and it smelled so nice when I was working down there today. Just get the gusts of peppermint oil.
Sure. Yeah,
It was really nice, but hopefully
but
that'll do
it's
it. And
nice if they don't like it.
yeah, exactly. And I'm just kind of leaving the tunnel doors open now. I've taken all the stuff that I used the manure on. I used it on some tubs, some of those potato tubs. So I've taken all that out, and I've defended the polytunnel with smells. So fingers crossed. And I've left the door open so they can go in there and have a nose around and hopefully see there's nothing.
So you've kind of essentially given in to them.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, they've kind of
Well,
won this. I
yeah,
think if it was the the height of summer and I had a load of crops in there,
sure,
or
sure.
or not summer actually, like that start of the season, March, April, where you really need to keep everything closed and warm, then
Right.
I'd be a lot more stressed about it. But
Well, and maybe in your way of doing this, they're gonna be bored and they
yeah, I
maybe
hope.
won't come back right away.
Yeah,
We can hope for that,
it was
right?
quite a big hole. It was quite a big
No,
hole I've got to
it was the
repair.
size of your hand.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
bigger. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. Now
yeah.
how do you just put tape on that to repair it?
Yeah, so I've ordered some special polytunnel repair tape, and I'm now just waiting for the alcohol to
Yeah.
arrive so I can give it a
Uh-huh.
really good clean. And where it's been ripped, it's all kind of serrated. The plastic is all serrated. So I was talking to Jessie as well, and she said what you have to do is cut out the damaged parts,
Sure, make
which
it
is like, please, no. Do I have to? Like, seriously? I've got to
but to
make the
make
hole
it
bigger?
square and flat and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
So you've got to get it like a nice clean edge,
yeah.
and then you can go over with the tape. And I've got the biggest tape that First Tunnels do, but it's still going to take, I think, 3 runs of it, maybe even 4 to close that gap. So
Okay, so you don't have to patch it with more polytunnel,
no, I
uh,
was
vinyl?
a few people kind of commented suggesting maybe patching it would be a good idea with some plastic, but I think from what I've read, actually the tape is just better because you do the tape on the outside and on the inside,
Okay,
so it kind of sticks to itself, and forms like basically a new bit of the sheeting. The good news is the structure itself, like the integrity, even though it's a massive hole that the animals have caused, it's all still nice and tight around it, and
right.
it's a good kind of advert for First Tunnels, really. They can take a good bit of beating. Yeah.
So you don't currently have anything growing in there, is that correct?
So I've still got my peppers in there, but they're
Oh,
just they're kind of
okay.
coming to the end of the season. I've just got a few that I'm trying to ripen off now.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm kinda shocked that yours have lasted so long.
yeah, we've had a really mild winter. I
Yeah.
saw Chili Chump did a video update on his chili peppers in his greenhouses, and they were looking amazing. And he was saying by this time, in the middle of November, normally his are all long gone.
Yeah.
So,
Mine actually went through a couple hard frosts,
yeah,
which I was shocked.
so long as the roots survive, they can
Yes.
take it. They don't love it, but they can survive.
Yeah, no, I was shocked, and a whole lot more ripened
Mm.
after that. So I was thrilled.
Yeah, nice.
So what are your plans next year, assuming that the polytunnel stays up and
Don't say that.
and the skin stays on nice and tight? What are your plans?
So I've been trialing the autopot system.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've chatted too much to you about that in the chat, but it's a self-watering system that I got sent to sort of try out with the peppers, and it blew me away, to be honest. I was expecting it to be pretty good,
Yeah.
and it was like bonkers amazing. I took a harvest from my Sugar Rush Long Peach the other day, and it was nearly 2 kilograms of hot peppers, which in the UK I've never come anywhere close to that kind of amount. And it's just these gigantic plants. They're like 5 foot tall, really bushy, just so many peppers. So I'm hoping to have some more autopots on one side of the polytunnel. I might try some tomatoes in there just to see, what the harvests are like, see how they do. As a bit
Now,
of an
does a
experiment.
polytunnel run hotter than a greenhouse?
I think it probably does. Yeah.
Okay.
I think because it won't have that vent in the top, and the tunnel I've
Okay.
got is about 10 by 20, well, it's 10 foot by 20 foot, and I think that's about as big as you can really have without having vents along the bottom
Mhm.
that you roll up. So I do think it's going to get very hot, very, very hot.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see.
And peppers are more happy with that, aren't they, than tomatoes, really?
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The greenhouse I've had get up to kind of 50 plus before, 50 degrees C, where I've, had malfunctioning auto vents or that kind of thing. And the peppers have survived, but it's
Well, the
not
good
ideal.
news is you can open the door,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think
So, yeah.
hopefully with both doors open, I've kind of oriented it so the prevailing wind will kind of go straight through and hopefully get a nice bit of air current going.
Okay, so peppers are really your favorite thing to grow, aren't they?
100%. 100%. I love
And
it.
you obviously can't consume all of those because they're so hot.
Yes. Yeah.
So you just like to grow them because you can?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
super hot ones are I had lots of comments. So did you see the clip of me trying the hot one?
No.
It was at the end of one of my videos the other day.
Oh,
I took a bite
no.
out
I
of
heard in
the
one of them you said, "I'm gonna be taking a taste of this soon." Oh, and they look nasty.
It was really hot, Audrey. It was really hot. I was crying. Yeah, it was good
Oh,
though.
I
It was
wish
good
we had a
fun.
clip of that. Wow, look at the
Yeah.
sun just came out. I just went
But yeah, so they're not really. You can kind of use them in cooking, but one pepper would do you for like a massive batch meal. You could cook like
Oh.
20 tubs of chili
Yeah.
out of one of those chilies, and it would still be quite hot. So a lot of it will get made into kind of a sauce that I will just save for when someone I don't like comes around my house and they're a bit drunk or something.
Here, let me flip this into your dinner. Yeah.
Yeah. They're just fun to grow. I did have some comments just like, well, if they're so hard to eat, why do you even grow them? It's fun. They're just
Well, and
really, really
sometimes that's
cool.
okay just to grow for fun.
Yeah.
And they're pretty.
Yeah.
Even when they're those gnarly, nasty scorpion tail ones.
Yeah.
They're like cool looking.
They're really cool. Yeah, they're so
Yeah.
gnarly and wrinkly. They just bring pepper. They just bring me joy. Chili peppers really do. They're great.
Okay, I'm being blinded.
You do look like you're struggling there with the sun.
Okay, so I'm just. It will pass. It was. It's very overcast today, except for right this second.
That is incredible. The joys of filming with natural light. Eh?
I know. Wow. Okay. So we're just there. It goes. See, we're calming down again. The clouds have come back. Uh, yeah, so I think this year
Good.
I'm not even gonna grow many hot peppers.
Really? Because you've
I
got so
had
many.
such a good year this year that I'm like, maybe I'm just gonna grow sweet peppers
Yes.
and
Yeah.
eat them fresh and call it a day. I just have really good growing conditions for peppers here.
Yeah.
So I can't seem to give enough of them away.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have a lovely ferment going
Oh,
uh,
tell me more.
of Bueno Mulatas.
Nice. Very nice.
Those are one of my son-in-law's favorites.
Yes.
So he's getting hot sauce for Christmas.
Mm.
So, but they've been in there for maybe 2 months now, 2.5
Yeah.
months,
Nice.
and
Nice.
the ferment is beautiful.
Are
So
they
I
in a mash or a brine?
no, they're in a brine.
Yeah, nice.
Mash, I was having more trouble with.
They are. It is trickier. It is
Yeah,
trickier.
I was finding a lot more odd growths
Yeah.
in my mash than just in a regular brine, so I thought, "We're gonna go regular brine again." But mash makes such good sense,
Yeah.
right? And I even thought about vacuum sealing it,
Mm.
but we went on that 1-month vacation, so
Yeah.
I didn't that didn't happen, so I just brined them because I thought they'll be fine while I'm gone,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah. Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were.
Nice.
Yeah. So what else, are you hoping to grow this coming year?
So I think I haven't planned it out properly, but broadly speaking, so I've got one side of the tunnel that's covered and it's going to be kind of pots or auto pots,
Mhm.
and that will mostly probably be chilies.
Okay.
An entire side. I mean, Steve did say that was one of the things that he said was he would have loved to see how many peppers I could grow in the tunnel. So I've got to try and do him proud, at least with the first year. Get one side given over to the peppers and see
Speak
how they do.
Yeah. Speaking of Steve, does anybody notice the sign right here behind me? The Bug Ben? I just if you'll remember Steve, I should have linked maybe I'll link the video on the replay of this. Uh, Built a Bug Ben, and that was the sign that was on it. And
So good.
JB was kind enough when he was up there to, ask Anne if it would be okay for me to have that, and it was, and now it's here, and Bug Ben 2.0 USA version will be out, this summer in the garden, so I kinda can't wait.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, no, I think that'll be so fun. So anyway, I was interrupted you after you brought up Steve. I
No,
had
no,
to
sorry. Yes, so mainly chilies one side and mostly tomatoes on the other and tall
Okay.
things. So I keep kind of thinking, well, I'll just do it all. I'll do tomatoes and aubergines and melons and cucumbers on that side, but that's too much. That's too much. So I should limit it down. But I'm just not too sure. I think it's going to be a bit of an experimental year. Maybe I will just try and grow a load of different things and see how they do in polytunnels compared to, greenhouses.
Yeah, and I would think most of those things could probably grow in either, right?
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
can even maybe, because 'cause you're in Southern England, so maybe you could even grow tomatoes outside. Do you do that?
Yeah, I've tried it before. I just the main issue I've had is like rain, trying to control moisture. If
Yeah,
you get a really wet year when you're growing the tomatoes outdoors, the tomatoes don't taste good.
and they
The
don't
plants.
like having their feet wet, I don't think,
Yeah.
for that kinda time.
Yeah, and I've learned with all the winter rain, I've learned just how thin the kind of or how close to the water table this plot is.
Right.
And with the clay pan that we're on, it's very wet underfoot at the moment. It's very wet. There's a few plots behind mine are underwater. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think you did show that in one of your videos.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um so yeah, I might try a few outside. And I'll have the raised beds as well, so it might be a bit nicer for them.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't properly planned out because I don't know what I'm gonna do with the two greenhouses I've got now. You know,
So now
because
you have the problem of having too much good growing space.
almost, yeah, almost. I think it will be good to what I probably need to do is grow as many plants as I always do. Don't grow any more and just give them all more space because those two greenhouses have always been like chock-a-block.
Well, yeah, and
They're
that
too
really
busy.
can't be a bad thing.
Yeah,
I've never heard about plants like graping about having more space,
exactly. Yeah,
right? We're always
exactly.
trying to cram them into smaller and smaller spaces to see how that
Yes.
goes. Yeah. Um, so have you had any recent harvests?
So other than the peppers, no, I have really just been energy on preparation and tunnel. You know,
Absolutely.
um,
So next year we're gonna see like bulldozers full of uh, carrots and onions and
maybe not carrots. I'll try carrots. I'll try carrots, but carrots are my literal nemesis. I just cannot grow them. But I'm hoping the one thing that did fail for me this year were the squashes. Really, I didn't have a very good squash crop at
this
all.
was not a good squash year for me either.
So I'm
I
hoping.
don't know what it was. Maybe it was too we're wet. It was we had a very wet spring. And spring is usually a little wet, but ours was
Yeah,
ridiculous. And we also had a very wet July.
we had such a hot spring. I think it really set a lot of things back. We had a really hot spring and then a really grey summer, so that it was warm, but just you know, not
Yes.
much sun.
So here I'm going to show you my last carrot harvest.
Oh, very nice. Is that Purple King?
It is a black nebula.
Oh, that's a much nicer name. I like
Yeah,
that. Black Nebula. Oh.
and they are so sweet.
Mm,
One of my favorites by far. So, and I was kind of shocked that we got that. We threw those seeds in more out of, oh, we've got open space. Let's throw in some carrot seed.
yeah.
And we got back from our month-long trip and oh my goodness, here we go.
Nice.
So that
Very
was
nice.
lovely. It was like a surprise harvest. And I
I'm not
like
jealous
those.
at all.
Didn't have one parsnip seed
Oh,
germinate,
really?
but did not have one.
My parsnips are looking very fat and very short. I think that's what I'm going to find this year. But I will have some for Christmas. I will have some.
I was gonna say that's not always a bad thing,
Yeah, yeah, they're
right?
looking okay. A fox or a badger has sat on them all, so they're looking quite squashed, but they're still going. They're still alive. So, yeah.
Oh, so they're really everywhere, aren't they, for you?
Oh yeah, big
Oh
time.
gosh.
It's
And
their
how
home though.
much
That's the thing, isn't it? It's their home that I visit. they
it
they kind
truly
of
is.
just
That's kind of the
yeah,
hard part is we wanna keep it this way, but they're like, "This is
yeah,
where I live. Come on."
exactly.
So are you a Christmas potato grower as well?
I've never done it, and this year I was
Okay.
like, I've got two greenhouses, I've got a polytunnel, I've got to
Yeah.
do it. I've got to do Christmas potatoes. Completely forgot. I completely slipped me by, like
Oh, yeah,
passed me
you're way too
by,
late now, right? Yeah.
and I was like, oh no. I've got a couple of tiny little shoots that are about this big that I found the other day that were growing in a trough, and I've moved those into the polytunnel. So we might have some tiny little bite-sized ones for Christmas.
So you and Jess can, split one little teeny potato
Yeah.
for your holiday dinner.
Our Christmas feast.
That's
Just
awesome.
parsnip
Hey
only.
hey, has anybody let me ask the chat, has anybody in the chat, what is your last, um, harvest been?
Yeah. I did trade a load of my chilies. I was going around bartering with people. So I took home a couple of nice cabbages because I had so many chilies. I was going
I
around.
think
Would you
that's
want some?
brilliant.
Yeah, it was quite nice. It was quite nice.
So you
I've
could
got
maybe just have a little chili farm over there.
yeah, yeah. The one thing that I can grow, I should just focus all my effort on that and
Well, and I think
barter
do you
everything.
think maybe that's because you love them so much?
I think probably, yeah. It's the
Yeah.
one thing that I've done the most research on, invested the most time in. I've given over like the best fertilizers, the auto pots, the quad grays. It's all geared, my chilies get the special treatment. So yeah, everything else, not so much. Not so much.
Okay. Let's see what we have here. Mike's allotment is still picking rainbow
I
Swiss
was
chard.
I was going to say pickled chard.
I
That's a new one.
I
Not heard
know.
that.
That's kind of why I popped it up thinking, wow, I've never heard that. But I bet you could oh, the sun. Oh my goodness. I I should wear sunglasses now.
Yeah.
I bet you could pickle the stems.
Oh,
I
maybe.
bet you could do that. Not that
Hmm.
maybe we're all dying to do that, but I bet you could. So sometimes Swiss chard, well, it just doesn't want to give up, does it? If it's in a
Yeah.
happy place, and I even noticed for me, I can get some kale to almost overwinter. Almost.
Yeah, my kale wasn't very happy. I grew some purple kale for the first time this year and just wasn't happy.
Well, the white fly, between that and the white cabbage butterfly, I'm
I
gonna
had
ask my hubby, who's a woodworker, by hobby, I'm gonna ask him to build me some portable covers
yeah, nice.
so that I can at least put it over the ones that I'd really like to grow.
Yeah.
They just have their way, and it's like, why am I even growing this for them? Right? I think I'm gonna just go buy cabbages at the store.
Yeah. It's okay once you've got it covered. It's just I find it's just that extra bit of faff to keep everything weed free
Yes.
when it's all covered over, and it's the
'Cause
last
out of
bed to ever
sight,
be weeded on my plot.
out of sight, out of mind too. If it's not right there and you're staring at the weeds, it's easy to let those go.
Yeah.
Okay, Joey Penfield or Penfold, sorry. This light is blinding me. I think I need to get a blind or something for this window. Still harvesting salads, lettuce, radish, turnips
Hmm.
aren't far away. Awesome.
Late radish. That's interesting. I always think of radish as an early spring.
Oh no, they're really good
Yeah.
in the fall. And do you grow? Have you ever grown daikon radish?
Do you know that I'm using that as a green manure? That's
Oh,
it's in my green manure mix, and it's the main thing that's germinated.
okay, because
So
they'll germinate like
yeah,
I
loads of
think.
my beds are just full of them, and I did them before as a green manure, and they were quite piddly because I sowed them so late. So I imagine it'll be the same again this year. But apparently, if you just cut the tops off and leave them to compost in the soil, they're amazing
Right.
as a green manure.
Yeah, and they'll probably break up a lot of that clay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're used in kimchi though, right? The daikon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not in the one I make. My favorite doesn't have those in it, but yes, you can. That's why I
Nice.
really am kind of sad that I didn't get a lot of cabbage this year, because that's really why I grow it, is for
Kimchi.
kimchi. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. The Korean pepper seed that you sent me, one of those was in the auto pot, and it's just sublime. So good.
Well, and the sizes are so different.
Yeah.
One is this really teeny little.
Mm.
I don't tend to grow that one again, but one was quite large.
Yeah,
And so it
the
was
big
very
ones.
easy to deseed and dehydrate. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to trying that.
It's quite mild, the big one. It's really nice though. Really tasty.
Well, I think the point is they're supposed to be somewhat mild,
Yeah.
and
I was
I made the mistake of leaving my seeds in one year, not mild. Like, it made a whole bit of
Yeah.
difference, but I thought,
Yeah.
"I am not gonna go through this and take seeds out." Like, I will just go, "Okay, that was an error in judgment." Okay, oh, here we have, Amanda is still harvesting cabbage and leeks, swede or rutabaga over here, and
Mm.
herbs. Lovely, yeah, herbs, they kind of are the last to go, I think, and I even think some of them, like my, rosemary, which is not a perennial here, I'm gonna just use that through the winter as I need it, and I guess reseed it in the spring. But
Yeah, nice.
yeah, I'm very jealous of people who can grow rosemary as a perennial because
Yeah, I didn't know that it wasn't
such a
over there.
thing as an annual.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Yeah.
we have like they just turn into bushes here, rosemary, like
Yes,
shrubbery.
I know, and I see those, and I like, ah, I love that.
Yeah,
But yeah, I can't get mine to. I can't get them to overwinter.
yeah, nice. I
But
do have I have been harvesting leeks actually. I've got quite a nice little crop of leeks this year. One of
now,
them is big as well. I've grown my first ever like proper fatty. It's like
awesome.
good. It's a good proper chunky leek. All the ones I've ever grown are normally quite piddly, but I've got
Now
one this year that looks like a supermarket leek.
you have some onion issues on your plot, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. So
The
onion
white,
white rot.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now the leeks don't get that.
Yeah, they're the allium family, but they're quite resistant to the rot
Okay,
for whatever
good.
reason. And that's why you can grow elephant garlic if you've got garlic white rot or onion white rot as well,
Okay,
because elephant garlic is more closely related to the leeks than it is the garlic, which
right.
is why it's a bit milder as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, it doesn't suffer from the rot,
and they're
which
so
is
nice and
nice.
big. You don't even have to work as hard to use them.
Yeah, they are mild though. So
Oh
if you're
yeah, they're
like,
definitely mild, but
yeah, if you really like the taste of garlic, you've got to use a lot of elephant garlic.
yeah,
But yeah, it's been a good year for me for leeks. Quite nice.
good.
I love them as well because you just kind of when they're ready, they just sit there and go, yeah, you come and get me when you want me. I'll just be here chilling. I'm fine.
Yeah, mine didn't come out big, but they
Mm,
were delicious, and I almost use them like a green onion or
yeah.
scallion. Yeah, because they just weren't quite as thick. But we did make a potato leek soup the other night, and it was
Was it nice?
there were hardly words. It was so good.
Oh, that's good. I tried to make it last year, and I don't know what went wrong, but it's put me off potato and leek soup for
Oh,
the foreseeable future. I don't. Maybe it was the potatoes I used or something, but it became like
paste.
really, yeah, gelatinous. You know,
Yeah, so
like
did you, like, put it in a blender or something?
yeah, I can't
Yeah,
remember exactly. I've like
okay.
erased it from my memory. I never want to think about it again.
Oh, yeah, potatoes and blenders do not
Maybe it
work
was
well.
that.
It turns
Yeah,
into wallpaper based.
yeah, that was it. I think it was a
Yeah.
stick blender.
Yeah, you no, they don't like those.
Okay, that's it. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
it's more like, shove it through,
Like a ricer.
yes, or,
Yeah.
a nice thin sieve to
Oh,
get the
wow.
texture that you want, but a blender
Okay.
will make it you can wallpaper a room with it.
Mm,
Yes.
that is exactly what happened, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Okay,
so don't let that deter you because this
lesson
was
learned.
potatoes from the garden and leeks from the garden. It was, like, so good. Actually, my husband was offering the, leftovers to a friend who had popped by, and I said, "No. I'm sorry, but
No,
that
I'm
was
keeping
so
this.
good. I'm not no." And we only had, like, a little bit left. I'm like, "No, that's lunch tomorrow. No, sorry."
Yes. Hands
Sorry.
off.
Sorry, he can make his own soup if he wants it. Okay, Steve here is still harvesting. Oh, he looks like he's harvesting a lot.
Wow.
Leeks and Swedes, carrots, cabbage, sprouts.
Mhm.
Oh, and main crop potatoes in 30-liter tubs.
Very nice.
You're gonna be eating good this fall
Mm.
into winter, absolutely.
I'm hoping I'll have sprouts for Christmas. My sprout plants do look okay. They're just starting. A lot of them are just starting, but I've never grown them before, so I'm not sure. Where they are on the timeline. I'm not sure if they're doing well or not.
Yeah,
But
mine are all out. They were not
uh,
and I mean, I'm in freezing weather now, so they're not gonna have a chance. But they were these little oh my gosh, like I don't know, like the size of an aspirin. And I'm like, "Okay. Yeah, I give, I give." So, luckily, I don't know if you have, any of your grocers sell them on the stalks.
Yeah, if you go somewhere fancy.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna send my husband to the store tonight and go, get me a stalk
Yeah.
so we can have some of those for Thanksgiving dinner.
Very good. You can tell everyone that you grew them. 'Cause
Well,
it's on
you
the stalk.
could before they became so popular to be sold like that.
Okay.
I
They'll be
feel like,
onto
well,
you.
at least I feel like around here there's a lot of on stock um Brussels, so it's a little harder to completely lie about that when it has a Trader Joe tag on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we have Charlotte's. Valerie's got Charlotte's in buckets.
Mm.
Amanda's saying Sarpo Mira.
I've still not tried those. I must try some more exotic potatoes next year.
Well, what kind do you grow?
King Edwards, and that's pretty much it. they're like my reliable. They were always.
Well, aren't they kind of a very reliable potato?
Yeah. They were always my go-to. So they're not necessarily the biggest cropper, but they are super reliable. And I was just starting to think, oh, maybe I should try some more. And then I learned about Steve saying it was his absolute favorite.
Yes.
King Edwards all the way. I was like, well, I must be doing something right if Steve agrees. I'll stick to that. But no, there are some.
I think Tony grew those this year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're also really readily available. So I'm really bad for not planning my spuds and my onions, and I'll just pick them up from any shop I walk into because
Okay.
we get quite a few that have a little seasonal garden section, and they'll just have their potatoes and onions.
Okay.
I'll be like, oh yeah, I should have planted those 2 weeks ago. Get them in the basket.
Well, and I love that you can just go to a garden center and get them.
Yeah.
Because around here, that's not a thing. So yeah, my onions and potatoes are already ordered for next year.
Oh, very good. Very good. Maybe I'll do that.
That's part of the problem. You have to be proactive about it or you're out of luck.
Yeah.
Okay, farmers nope.
You lost him.
Pardon me?
Have you lost them? Lost the comment?
Well, yeah, and
it moves quick, doesn't it?
It does, and then sometimes I'm thinking of what I need to respond, and then I'm get distracted by reading. Oh, here we have a question. That's good. Can someone recommend a decent sprout to grow next year, please? I don't think, and I'm thinking you're also in the UK. This is Denise, right?
Yeah, she's up in Scotland.
Yes.
I don't know if.
So I don't know that you all have the same varieties we have here.
Yeah, I think a lot of the kind of potato research happens in Scotland and that kind of thing. So I think generally, if you can grow it in England, you can grow it in Scotland as well. I think well, they're quite hardy, aren't they?
This is a sprout, not a potato.
You just really read it as spud. I was talking about potatoes because I said like, spud.
JB, come on.
I'm just potatoes on the brain.
I usually grow the red spuds.
Yeah,
not spuds. Sorry. Oh my gosh, I just said I grow the red sprouts. I find that the white flight fly and white cabbage butterflies don't seem to attack my red cabbage products as much as they do the green.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know why that would be, but they don't want to be healthy. So they're like, we don't need any of those extra antibiotics in the red stuff. But I found a couple of red sprouts that I really like.
Yeah.
But again, I'm not sure that would be helpful for you, Denise, if you can't get them.
The ones I've done this year are Evesham Special and Red Bull. The Red Bull is red.
No, we do have a Red Bull here. Yeah. So that's probably exactly
the Evesham Special is miles ahead of the Red Bull. The Evesham Special has got actual sprouts on it, and the Red Bull are just starting. And they all went in at the same time.
Okay. And my Red Bulls were the ones I pulled out because Like
Oh, a
you're
little
gonna
bit
be in the
slow.
deep
Yeah.
freeze in like a week, so they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And we had a couple. I did see it go by. I hope you can see it, Denise. There were a few,
People recommending Sprouts, not
yes,
Spuds.
a few recommendations. But it's so funny. I know the names now of all the UK potatoes. I can't get them, but I know them all. Yeah, I prefer Kennebec, which I
Ooh.
think you can get. Kennebecs and Purple Viking. Those
Oh,
are
that's a cool name.
yeah, those are like my 2 favorites, and those always get grown.
Oh, I want to grow that just because of the name.
You're gonna get a Viking hat while you're digging
Yeah,
them
that's a
in.
thumbnail. That's a YouTube thumbnail right there.
Yeah, I told JB his recent thumbnail was very provocative, and he said, "Well, if it is, it was not on purpose."
Sometimes they're on purpose and sometimes total accident. Total accident.
But I thought, well, at least it demonstrated lifting dirt with your legs, not with your back.
Yeah.
So I had to give you that. Like the form was good.
I've really tried to fix that recently because I threw my back out a little while back. So whenever I'm digging and stuff now, try and be quite good.
Yes. Because it's never worth injuring a back over moving some dirt.
Yes, yes.
Never.
It's
'Cause
got
backs just don't bounce back like anything
yeah.
else would. They just take their darn sweet time.
It's got to that point where the few times that I've hurt it, it's normally I'm not doing anything heavy. You know, it's just a slightly awkward twist,
Right.
or like you bend down to pick something up, like you're on the sofa and you've dropped something, and it's like, how have I hurt myself doing that? And, yeah,
And you're so young,
I
JB. I'm
know,
just
I
like,
know.
good grief. In your
It's
50s, this will be sad.
I think it's from that office switching to an office job like 6 or 7 years ago, and
Yeah, desk jobs are
yeah,
not good for any of us.
yeah.
They just aren't. And yet, they pay the bills better in
That's
many
it. That's why I
respects.
did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
the allotment is the thing that kind of keeps me a bit fitter and more active now. So yeah, it's
well,
definitely better than it used to
you've
be.
been very busy down there recently.
Oh yeah, yeah. So today I was up doing prepping all the raised beds because I'm converting from growing in the ground to kind of raised beds, and yeah, good 6 hours on the plot today. It's lovely when you've got a week off. It's just wonderful. You just
And
wake
did
up.
you put your parents to work too?
Yeah, they came down for a little bit. Mum was helping with all the peppermint oil and that kind of stuff,
Oh,
and
that's right. Okay.
Dad likes to just poodle around and do a bit
Well,
of
and it's
trimming.
easier to keep your plot looking tidy when it's in raised beds.
That's
Even if
I'm
things are
hoping.
overgrown, and I mean, it's still, like, so much easier.
Yeah.
But I do watch some YouTubers who have all, like, hand-cut beds in the ground, and I think and they do a lot of maintenance to keep that up,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
that's
that
it.
is
Charles Dowding did a video the other
yeah.
day on how he keeps them so clean. And I was like, oh, I'll take a little peek at that. And then he showed him on his hands and knees, like weeding through it all. And I was like, oh, it really is just that much work. Yeah, I'm not doing it wrong. It is just that much work. Like, I don't
Yes.
want to do this for the rest of my life. Like,
No, but you put a little border up and you can
yeah,
weed whack right against it.
exactly. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. No, I
That's the
totally
plan.
agree.
Yeah.
And, the longer I've gardened, the more I want those kind of,
Low
nice
maintenance.
yes, lower
The
maintenance options.
The other thing that's done it is watching Tony's videos. So when you watch this, Tony C. Smith, obviously,
Yes.
he pretty much films everything he does at the allotment, doesn't he? So that gives you a really nice, if you've watched
Yes.
like the last 5 videos in a row and you realize that he can do like a bed in 20 minutes.
Right.
It's like it would take me so much longer because you've got to like do all the edging and all that faff, and he's just got slabs for paths
Yep.
and raised beds. So he's just got such a smaller area that he needs to actually work on, and it just seems so much more efficient. I was like, he's onto
Well, and
something here.
it kind of
Onto
helps
something.
you take down your to-do list.
Yeah,
Like, okay, but I'm only going to tackle this bed today. And then
exactly.
when
Yeah,
it's done, you're done.
yeah.
Or yeah, no, I agree. I think he's got it down to a good science there. I was really moved when I saw all the people that showed up to help
Oh,
him.
it was such a
I
nice
honestly, I
video,
started
wasn't it?
crying. I thought it was so
Yeah,
sweet.
it was a tearjerker.
It
Yeah,
was.
it was really sweet.
And I think it gave him hope that, okay, I can probably maintain this now.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it was so sweet. So for all of you who either were there or were hoping you were there, I think that was a lovely moment for the gardening community that went out and really gave Tony some well-deserved help. So thank you to all of you for doing that.
Tony was great with everyone as well, wasn't he?
He's just such
I
a
would have been
natural. He is
so anxious having that many people, like letting them into my allotment, and being able to see all the all the nooks and crannies that are hidden away.
I think he was more concerned nobody'd show up.
Yeah, he
'Cause
genuinely
that
was,
would
wasn't
be
he?
like a really sad video.
Yeah,
Here I am all by myself. I mean, I knew that wasn't gonna be the case, but,
yeah,
yeah, no, he just like, "Here, do it. Here's a shovel. Here's this. Go for it."
yeah. It was
And his
beautiful.
polytunnel, oh my goodness, when that was opened up, I thought, "That's a ton of work got done
I
in
think
there."
I gasped because he
Well,
he was to spend a load of time outside, and then the polytunnel was like done, and the next
yeah.
bit that he walked in, and I was like, oh my god,
Yeah, no,
really nice.
that's a lot of work to do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a shame you couldn't make it, Denise. I would have done the same thing if I had to spend that on tires unexpectedly.
Yeah, so I'm glad he's got his plot cleaned up and he's definitely feeling better and looking better, and
Just
which is
having fun on
awesome.
e-bikes.
Ex- he has so many e-bikes now.
He loves it. He
I
just loves it.
it's so fun, but good for him.
Yeah, yeah,
Good for him.
absolutely.
So, as Christmas is kind of, I hate to almost even bring that up today, but you have a tree.
I
I have a
know.
little silly tree right behind me. Um, what are people thinking that they're going to be doing here in the month of December as well, this is coming closer? Is there anything that you're hoping to start to overwinter? I'm trying to overwinter onions this year, which I've
Ooh.
never done. But apparently a Walla Walla onion in my zone will overwinter. Okay, Carrie's drinking a lot of
Yeah,
gin.
so that made me laugh.
Right? Ah, that is,
Good answer.
yeah, that's probably the best answer. Yeah, can you grow juniper berries? You probably could. We could be talking about a whole juniper berry thing. And I just found out that gin is actually a double distillation.
Oh, that
It's
sounds
vodka.
complicated.
Well, it's actually vodka that gets turned into gin.
Oh,
I had no idea.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So
Mm.
maybe juniper berries are what we should consider growing this coming year. Joey's starting her onions in December. Okay, so let's talk about that.
Mm.
Did you start yours last year?
Yeah, we did
Maybe
the
on Boxing Day?
the Boxing Day stream.
Yeah.
And mine germinated really well. They got off to a good start until I planted them in the ground. But I'll be doing it again, I think, on Boxing Day. I really like the idea of that and that kind of tradition.
Yeah, it's a lovely tradition. It was way too early for me
Oh,
to
really?
start
Did they get
onions.
really big?
And they got very they got too big and they got really ticked at the little teeny things they were in. And I wasn't gonna repot up 200 onions,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
those kinda didn't do so well. Now, okay, and I don't mean for this to turn into an alcoholic conversation, but I've heard about Pauline's talking about rhubarb gin.
Oh yeah.
I have heard about that. So is that just you have gin and you add some rhubarb to it and infuse it?
I think you can probably buy it now as like a pre-mixed thing, but
Okay.
probably 10 years ago, if people were talking about rhubarb gin and sloe gin and that kind of thing, it would have been like a homemade. You just take some gin and stick some rhubarb in it,
That's okay, that's
and it
kinda what
goes
I
nice.
thought, and leave it
Yeah.
long enough so it okay.
My dad did blackberry whiskey once. That was really nice. But that was the same thing. You just take some whiskey and put some blackberries in it. It was good though. I think
I've never had flavored whiskey.
I can't remember if sloe gin is the same thing where it's just flavored, or if when you do sloe gin, because that's like quite a traditional one. I don't know if that's a bit earlier on in the actual alcohol making process, the brewing kind of thing, or distillation.
But
I don't
isn't it
know.
a whole different color?
Yeah, it's really dark, kind of purpley
Yeah,
from the sloes. It's quite nice, sloe gin.
from the sloes. Now
Mm.
what okay, I am
It's the berry. So sloes are the berry of the blackthorn, I want to say. Because
Oh,
I don't know if it's hawthorn or blackthorn. I think the berries on a hawthorn are called the haws, Haws. So I think it's blackthorn from sloes, maybe. I should know that one. But yeah, it's one you
okay.
can kind of in the UK you can just go down you can find a hedge somewhere and normally harvest a load of sloes, like you can with blackberries, and you can just kind of forage them. Kerry says it is blackthorn, so thank you.
I
Very
think
good.
Harry knows their gin.
Yeah, the gin expert in the chat.
Oh, with sloe berries. Interesting. I have never heard of that.
They're
Well,
not.
you learn
A,
something new every day. I thought it was just made with egg white and
ooh,
maybe that's the slow gin fizz.
mm,
I thought it had an egg white in it.
like a
Don't quote
foamer.
me. I'm just muddling right now. So I
But yeah,
like regular
sloes.
gin. I've never had a slow gin.
Slows are interesting because you don't cook with them or anything. You know, you can't make them into a pie or anything like that. I don't know how palatable they are, but for some, the only product you ever see is like sloe gin. Maybe you can eat them and do loads of other stuff with them. I just don't know.
But that'd be a slow pie.
Yeah, slow pie.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow, there's a lot of information in this group.
Yeah.
Okay, and know that after for some reason my chat takes almost a day to come up, but it will be up. So if there's something that you missed, I do go back and read everything. I should get better at addressing those questions I missed. Maybe I'll do that next week. The ones that got missed, the
Yeah.
things that we can start with old business first. How's that? So any other questions or comments before we're getting close to the end of the hour, so I don't want to.
Yeah,
Um,
someone mentioned fruit bushes and that kind of thing. It's quite a good time of year for planting bare roots, you know, trees and fruit trees or bushes and that kind of thing. It's the
yeah,
right time of year
they
to do
do
it, I'm
like,
sure.
the cooler weather, don't they? Yeah, I don't think I'm getting tulips in, spring
Very
bulbs,
nice.
but I have hundreds still to put in, and
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm kinda scared I've missed my window because it's getting so cold,
Sounds
but I
about
think
right, Audrey. That
it
sounds about right for you.
so I'm gonna put them in pots that we can probably plant inside and then just move the pots outside
Yeah, nice. I
so
think
they get cold enough.
the kind of current fashion at the moment is bulb lasagnas. Have you seen those?
Bulbless onions.
Bulb lasagnas.
Bulb lasagnas?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
That is
I'm
what I'm saying. Yes, it's where you take a pot and you do kind of 2 or 3 different layers of different bulbs.
okay.
So you have to do the
Oh,
correct ones for the layer, and then
I
they all
get it.
kind of come up together, or you get a nice sort
Okay.
of
I
staggered bulb
lasagna
planter.
lasagna planting.
Yeah.
I'm thinking You're making lasagna out of bulbs? Okay.
No,
No, I get it.
not that.
Okay. Yeah, well, I thought I would just plant, each variety that I have left, like, in smaller pots, and then I can just pop them around.
Yeah, nice.
Uh,
When it's warmer.
yeah, when they start blooming, I can just move them around. But I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see if we can get them in, but who knows? So anyway, raspberries. Ooh, okay. Raspberries worth a spot to grow or not worth the hassle?
Oh, interesting. I've I've seen this go kind of two ways. You know, Tony planted his and absolutely hated them, didn't he? They just did nothing.
He's so
And
impatient though. Uh,
yeah.
I mean, I love him, but he's kind of an impatient dude. So if it doesn't go right immediately, it's like, get it out of here.
Yeah. I've had my neighbor has a massive raspberry patch. Like her allotment is completely wild and pretty untamed, but the raspberries can spread quite readily, so you have to be on that. But if they're growing and the birds don't get them all, they are really nice. Homegrown raspberries are really
Yeah.
nice, and they're very expensive. So they are a good one to grow if you can set aside an area that you know you can kind of keep on top of and stop them from spreading out everywhere else, and maybe cover from the birds. They are nice.
Well, I put mine in a little spot it's between my home, the driveway, which goes so it's essentially cement locked. And I planted
Nice.
5 bushes, and we will see. This was my second year. I could tell they were really getting happy and established. So we'll see how those do. But I thought I'm landlocking them
Yeah.
because I don't want to be pulling out raspberries from everywhere.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. That's nice. I think I had some that were planted where I've put my polytunnel, so there is a chance I'll be battling raspberries for the foreseeable future.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because once those babies get in there, they don't want to go away.
yeah.
Okay, I just
It's one
saw a
of those things.
couple little questions we'll answer here at the end. Uh, can can I plant bulbs in grass? Basically, dig a hole in the grass and pop a bulb in. Well, that would be naturalizing to me. That's what I would like to do with my crocus, but
Mm,
again, I'm not sure if that window has passed. Uh, but yeah, that will naturalize them, and like a crocus, it is one of those bulbs that will multiply. So I know there's different kinds of tulips or daffodils, and some are almost treated like annuals, and some will multiply and give you more. But I think naturalizing any of those spring bulbs is, I just think it's beautiful. And many of them are gone by the time you need to cut your grass,
yeah,
or you just, skip the first few cuts until, but crocuses for sure go away pretty quickly. I saw one other question. I just want to get this last one here. Here we go. Oh, is anyone growing ginger?
it's not one I've ever tried.
I grew 2 kinds of ginger this year,
Oh,
cardamom ginger and ginger. I
ginger.
didn't even I didn't even know cardamom ginger was a thing. Lovely flavor, has a little of the citrus overtone like
Mm,
you kind of would get from cardamom. They were not real prolific this year, and I think it was because it was kind of a wet year, and I think ginger prefers dry heat, but afternoon shade, right? Um, so
nice.
yeah, I love growing ginger because it's one of those, it's like a potato. Put it in the ground, you leave it, you get what you get when the
Oh wow.
season's over. Yeah. So yeah, so Mike, I'm hoping if you are growing some, that you will enjoy it. And never forget homegrown ginger. Oh, Andy. Ginger beard. We get it. Okay. It's funny. The fresh ginger is so much stronger that you barely, you don't need nearly as much to use as you do from store-bought ginger.
I didn't
But
know
it's,
that.
yeah, oh, it's really strong, but
When
very,
when you really, I know very little about ginger. When you dig it up, does it have that skin on it already,
no,
or just
it's
so
all,
it's
it's
like
fresh and
ah,
fabulous. So I just freeze it right away
oh
and then
nice.
just grate it as I need it. And it works beautifully. And this year I did grow some for tea. I was trying to grow more herbal teas.
Nice.
So it's also lovely just grate it into some tea. So, oh my goodness, here we are at an hour. Thank
Flies
you.
by.
Oh, JB, always lovely.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
It's really nice, chilled evening.
Yeah. And I still have my evening.
Mm.
So, and it's Wine Wednesday, if I might say.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend and we come over and enjoy Wine Wednesday a little bit in the evening. It's lovely. It's a tradition for many years. Uh, so anyway, thank you all so very much for being here. And again, JB, thank you.
Thank you.
And same time, same place next week. I'm not sure who's up, but I will let you know as soon as I can. So, hey guys, and again to you US folks, happy Thanksgiving,
Yeah, indeed.
and we'll see you next week.
Thanks all.
Bye now. There we go.